Good. Hi, Seattle Tech Meetup. Hi. Okay, you can sit down. He was just getting your blood going because maybe he's peeked at my presentation. Okay, let's go. So I'm Sarah Bird, and I'm the CEO of Moz, and oh, thank you. It's still funny to say that a little bit. And I'm not doing a tech demo, sad first, but my contribution, I hope, will be to spend some time talking about the business model of Moz and how all the different things that we do kind of fit together to make the business run the way that it does. And my hope is that this will be helpful to budding entrepreneurs in the room and how they can maybe think about their business, and maybe you can come up afterwards and say, Sarah, I have an idea for you. Okay, so the other thing, we have tag fee, which is our core values. Maybe you've heard of it, and I really want you to hold me accountable to these core values, especially on the transparency bit, because we're going to talk about some cool stuff here, and in the questions, by all means. So, Allons-y, here we go. We're going right in. Get your thinking caps on. Oh, first some history, because some of you are like, wait, I've never even heard of Moz. You have to tell me something about what you do. We were born in 2007 in Seattle. We have about 21,000 customers, about 135 employees. We did about $30 million in revenue last year, and we're at about 78% gross profit margin. Oh, and we've never had a salesperson, right? So you should be scratching your head like, that's weird. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We do make software for marketers. It's really great. It's inbound marketing. Some of you know what that means. It's like it looks like this. So this is like as close to a demo. It's like your search, your links, your web mentions. Check it out, 30-day free trial. It's pretty. Okay, so now but now it's like really starting. Okay. What you have here is a 6-box, basically, and I'm going to fill this in with you, and each box is going to be another point of sort of interest about our business model. First one, we have a low-friction, self-service SaaS company. So the good news is, low-friction, self-service, we're going to walk through this, but it's really easy to get started. It's unfortunately very easy to churn, which is a challenge of our model. The good news is we have tons of recurring revenue with it. So here's how when I say low friction, self-service SaaS, what I mean. It means that most people find us through Google or a social share. They come in, they take our free trial, it's credit card, 30-day free trial. And it's really easy to get started. It's like $99 a month, so it's like you can cancel any time, and you don't have to talk to IT or go through a sales process or run it through your attorney. So this is the low friction part, right? It's like super easy. You're up and running. Okay. Now, it's a graph. So some of you are like, ooh, it's getting good, and others of you are like, I lost you already. But come back in 30 seconds if you don't like graphs. Okay, so along this axis is months. So this is month 1 to 40. And along this axis is a monthly churn, or churn percentage. So in other words, in month 1, about 27% of my free trialers, they're not a free trialer, just converted, but in their first month, they'll leave, right? So some of you are like, whoa. Like in a typical, a enterprise SaaS, right, where you've lead qualified and you've got a big integration and you've got a 3-year contract and it took you, a quarter to get there, but now you've just closed this deal. That churn curve is going to look much flatter with maybe at the annual bump or something, right? Mine looks different, and so the churn rapidly declines in the first 3 months. By month 4, you can start to see it stabilize, which is really good news. So we like to think of this month 4 and beyond as our qualified customers. And this is where it's this is why Moz is a little weird, right? Because some people in this first 3 months, I probably should have kept them. Some of those people were my target customer, and Moz and my job and the team's job is to figure out what can we do to keep those people. Some of them we lost, we shouldn't, and we regret it, and we need to get it back and get better. And a lot of those people are also folks who, they're never going to be my target customer, but because it's anyone on the internet can sign up, I get tons of people who would like to be a professional marketer, but they're just not going to get there because you can't do it in 1 day a month, but they're eager. And so that's something little different about us and what we do. We're gonna revisit that and the implications. The other good thing, we take money up front because I hate asking for money. And this is a joke that only appeals, I realized too late, to people who do accounting and like Harry Potter. But basically, mischief managed. You don't have to do collections. So we have a really active, gigantic community of online marketers. This really helps get my cheap customer acquisition cost, which is good because I've got that churn problem, right? I get tons and tons of great feedback. It's a very passionate community. These are numbers about how big it is, in case you didn't believe me. And then I was like, they'll never read it. I only have 5 minutes. It's super big, right? It's like the world's largest community of online marketers, and it's amazing and gratifying to be a part of. High margins. So for every dollar we make, we get to reinvest about 75 cents of it back into the business. Now, this is another hold on a minute moment, right? So those of you who don't like math and graphs, come back in 30 seconds again. And the rest of you, lean in. This is it. So this is, you should make a slide like this in your business if you can. It really helps people grok it. The first thing you should know, average qualified customer lifetime value. So the qualified, right, that's that they've been for 4 months or plus, right? I'm not even counting the first 3 months. As far as I'm concerned, those guys are paying me to qualify into the business. So I make about $3,600 from them. They stick around for about 34 months. I make about $110 a month. And my average fully loaded cost of customer acquisition is only $130. That includes all my marketing salaries and all my spend, and even my biz dev guy who's only kind of quasi-marketing and the way we do it. So that's pretty awesome. $24 a month to provide the service. So I put cash back into the business in month 2. So for those of you who are like, oh no, why are they're losing all those people, they're probably losing lots of money, it's because you're still thinking about the enterprise sales model, right, where it spends a ton of money to get those people on and it costs a lot to keep them. But if you can get them cheaply and it's cheap to provide service, it's kind of okay if people who aren't your target customer come into the funnel. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep. Thank you. All right, keep going. So we have a really trusted brand, which in my business of internet marketing, this inbound side that's heavily SEO, that's very important. It means people are willing to pay a little bit more because they want the truth, they want good marketing, they don't want spammy tactics. It also means they forgive you if you make mistakes sometimes, but they also expect you to be really tag-y, which is good. Hold us to it. Okay, so we're kind of a big deal. Trust me. Create your own data. Okay, so this is another important piece of our business model because you saw it's analytics, right? So it's you saw the math and the charts and everything, right? We have got to invest a lot of time and money, and we do, in getting our own data, our own proprietary metrics, and creating our own data sources. Otherwise, we're at big risk of being disintermediated and misunderstood as a mere business intelligence tool, and we want to be bigger than that. So we invest a ton of money in crawling the web and doing really cool machine learning, and I got some of my guys here. What's up, guys? What's up? And so it's big, hard problems, and we have to understand what content is influential and who's sharing it and who's ranking where and why. It's awesome. So and our competitors use it because we want to be an infrastructure. It's important to understand. Let's see. Okay, so that's basically the tour. Thank you. Do you understand more? Raise your hand or clap if you understand more about the business, or did I lose you entirely? Are you with me? Okay. All right. I want to look at Jeremiah Johnson again. Okay. So I don't know if I have time for questions, but I can say, I'm supposed to say, one, we really like the World Cup, and we've got these gigantic big screens, and so if the World Cup is something you're interested in and you want to hang out, and we have a beer fridge and wine fridge and cocktails, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that come in these pre-wrapped things with the crusts off. You should come to our office sometime, so talk to me about that. We're having a party, and I'm wearing a red badge. That means something. Questions?
2 questions.
2?
2.
Get 2? I get 2. No pressure. Make them good. You can ask me anything. Doesn't have to be about the Prezi. Miss Sierra. We're hiring so many developers. So many. The best ones, all of the ones, big problems. Oh, thank you. Hi.
Interesting service that you provide. How would you qualify or classify your competitors? What would somebody do instead of Moz?
Okay, the question was about our competitors and how would I qualify or classify our competitors. So we're a suite, and so you can look at the competitive landscape two different ways. There's really only one other company that is doing a full suite of marketing activities like we do. They're called Raven Tools. They're very good. They beat me on some things like workflow, frankly. They don't invest in data. They use our data. We power them. It's like the sort of frenemies thing that we have going on. They're very good. So that's a suite. And then there's lots of pure plays as well that keep us on our toes. Like as an entrepreneur, this is something I underestimated and am now like more fully great, we're going broad, we're gonna solve more problems. Wow, I just now have to compete with a lot more people. So if you're interested in links, for example, Ahrefs or Majestic, there's all kinds of social tools that I'm not even gonna begin to mention because we would be here till the next meetup. Probably to get there, so a lot. Yeah, hi. That could be copyrighted. So the good news is we crawl publicly available pages, and I don't think it's a copyright issue because we're not trying to pass off the ideas as our own and sell them. Mostly we're interested in links, right? Who's linking to who on the web is a very important signal of what's important and who's going to rank where. So who's linking to who, how important are those websites, what's the anchor text they're using, what's the text around them, what IP block is it from. We use that kind of data to be able to give you a profile of, hey, if you want to know why your competitor is outranking you, it could be because they have a totally different, more badass link profile than you do. So take a look at that. Does that help? It's not really we're not a search engine, but even search engines, right, you've got fair use and all kinds of awesome copyright stuff. If you're an IP person, yeah?
Let's hear it for Moz, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.